It's the Dreamscape.
Welcome back, dreamers, to Indie Synergy Exchange, your podcast for all things indie art and creation. I am your host, Tanner Geesey, also known as Number 2 Pencil Man and owner of Tanner's Tales Entertainment, and today I'm joined by my co-host,
Frae, the artist guy.
And that is right, Frae is joining me tonight, and we have a very special guest. We are joined by Julz the Great.
Hey everybody! I didn't know. I didn't hear what. Oh, hold your applause. Hold your applause. They held those applause like pretty quick. Oh,
I know, right?
Captive audience.
It's almost like a tap of a button.
Wow, almost like that.
Yes, we're very excited to have Julz here with us tonight. But before we get started, you know the drill. I got to talk about all the fun promo stuff of the podcast. If you guys have been enjoying Indie Synergy Exchange, please consider supporting the channel. Give us a thumbs up on the videos, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out our amazing library of episodes. This is episode 24. So before this episode, there were 23 others, and I'd say about 21 of those had another guest. And we've had guests of all kinds on this podcast. We've had indie authors, indie poets, comic creators, musicians. We've had wrestlers, clowns, doctors of psychology, small businesses. Basically, if it can be done indie, we've had it on the show, and we will continue to have it on the show. So definitely you don't want to miss out on any of that. This interview being no exception, of course. We have another amazing musician. So definitely, if you want to support the podcast, please consider doing all that. If you are an indie creator of any kind and you want to be on the podcast, shoot us a message. We are the Dreamscape Empyrean on all of our socials. I'll link that below. And just reach out to us, and we'd love to get you on the show. And other than that, I think we are going to turn it over to Julz. Julz, give us a brief introduction. Who are you, and what do you do?
Okay, well, let's see. My name is Julz the Great. Well, you could just call me Julz. That's fine. And I'm okay. I'm a musician. I've been doing music my entire life. And it's really difficult to try to pigeonhole myself into one genre or another. So, but I would say for this project, for the Julz the Great project, I'm really just kind of getting all the way into alternative rock. And that can be, I love classic punk. I just love classic punk. So I've been having that a lot as influence. Of course, I grew up on that early 2000s alt rock and pop punk. So I try to channel that as well. Was really into stoner rock as a kid and post-hardcore and things like that. So I'm just kind of trying to write musically what my inner angsty teenager still wants to write.
Nice.
And just to preface, I have been doing music and all kinds of songwriting and all kinds of genres for a long time. And, my main project is a little bit more of a neo-soul, funk, synth pop type thing. So it's a little bit more, what's the word I would use for it? Finesse is not the right word, but I guess like a little bit more eloquent music. And so this is almost meant to be the opposite in a way.
Interesting.
In a way.
Oh, very cool. So when did you start writing music? Like, when did you know music was what you wanted to do? Or was it always what you wanted to do?
I'm one of those rare cases where it was always what I wanted to do, where they ask you when you're in kindergarten, which is a very young age, to ask someone, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's kind of pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I always knew, like, I wanted to be a musician, although I would word it like, I want to be the next Britney Spears. Like, that's what I thought I wanted to be. Now that obviously, have you been following like all of the Britney Spears stuff?
I've seen
Yeah,
bits and pieces of it.
same.
Yeah, a
Oh my
little
gosh.
bit of it.
Random tangent. I promise I'll like continue my story. But my best friend, one of my best friends who was my roommate in college, she is her social media manager, and she's the one that hooked her up
Oh,
with the lawyer that won her the case.
wow.
Yeah, that my
It's pretty
girl,
cool.
my best friend out here helping free Britney. But in any case, yeah, that's I always knew, and I started writing music when I was in middle school. Before that, I was in a lot of choirs, and that was, my main outlet. But I loved in middle school, I had this music teacher who really went out of his way to teach us how to play guitar. He taught us about rock history. And so that kind of opened the door for me to start exploring my more creative side. And as anytime you first start an art project, like none of my first several songs were good, but you
Hmm.
practice more and they start to get better. So
As all good things do.
yeah.
Frae, did you got something?
Do you consider your project? Are they more of projects where it's kind of like you're the featured singer in these different bands, or are they like solid bands that you're a part of?
Well, I would say both. I mean, I have to take a moment before I talk about like the Julz the Great thing. I got to talk about my longtime project Soul Packs. We've been a band for 12 years. We formed in college, and yeah, it's a
That's a
long
long
time.
time.
It's a long
Yeah.
time
It's
to
good
be.
musician time.
Oh yeah, like we've gone through evolutions, we've gone through genres, and I do have to say, like our first EP that we put on SoundCloud, I mean, it was. I don't want to say it was a mess, but it was definitely. How what am I allowed to say on this podcast, and what am I not
Whatever you
allowed to
want.
say? Whatever I
Everything.
want, like I can everything.
Yes.
So it definitely the first EP we released, it was kind of like a musical masturbation. Like it was just such an active listen. It was like, okay, how often can we change the key of the song? How often can we change the time signature? Like just when you think you can follow the groove, oh, it's gone. And my poetry was so obscure and abstract. It was like I thought, oh, this is so woke. Anyone can derive meaning from this universal lyric. And it was just all kinds of clever. So, we've gone from that to making more commercial stuff that still kind of has the soul. It's called Soul
Hmm.
Packs. In any case, that band, we the primary members are me and my guitarist Julian. He creates these incredible instrumentals, and I'm the top line writer, which means I write the lyrics and the melody. And we've probably had, in terms of musicians who have played with us and have been part of our band, we've probably had over 40 different
Oh,
musicians
wow.
at any given time join us. And, our layout has always been, of course, we got drums, we got bass. Sometimes we would have second guitar or keys. And then if we got the budget, we got that horn section. And yeah, so we've played with a lot of different people, but we try to, once we find the guys or the gals or like, the crew, we try to stick with them as long as we can until they kind of have their own things in life, And so
Hmm.
it's never like, what's the word for it? It's never like on hard terms that people are leaving, but like, oh, I'm moving, or oh, I just started this job, or oh, I have this other music project. A lot of the musicians we play with actually are in multiple bands and have multiple projects in the scene. The Julz the Great thing, it is meant to be a solo project. On the other hand, because for a long time I felt kind of like codependent on my dude. His name's Julian, by the way. I'm Julia, so it's kind of funny, but I
That's
had been
cute.
writing with him for such a long time. I forgot what it was like to be like my own front woman, not relying on like my best friend being there to like kind of hold my hand and be like, oh, you're okay through it. And it was kind of something I guess I had to overcome
Hmm.
in terms of fear. But I had all these songs. So this one is much more of a solo project, but I've only been doing this for a year. So I've got like
Oh,
my guys, and they're pretty locked in. As long as they want to be a part of the band, they're part of my band. I've got a guitarist who's currently phasing out, but that's because he's getting married. He's got a full-time job. He had to leave another project as well that he really loved and was in for many years. So I would say, a long answer short, for both groups, we try to keep a steady band, but things happen and we're open to change, and we have switched around things before, and so have I within my own personal projects. It's whoever's down.
And how did you go about finding these members?
I mean, it's tough. The biggest thing is just searching for who's available in your community. I mean, it was a lot easier in college because you're a part of this microcosm of musicians. Just for clarification, I'm like a bougie conservatory girl. I went to Berklee College of Music for college, so everyone was a musician, and that was wild because you grow up kind of a big fish in a small pond, and then the first 2 semesters you go there, you're like, do I even deserve to be here? Wow, I suck. I should just quit music. And you have to kind of shift from like the rat race against people to being like, okay, how can I at least just one up myself? In saying that, with that experience, there were people all over the place you could ask. Now, once I've left college and I've come back down to Miami, it was harder. I had to like reintegrate into the music scene, and let me tell you, the scene down here is incredible. There's all kinds of different genres, like you name it. And there's like a thriving scene down here. But like, I'm sort of limited to those people. Not limited. It's kind of like, it's more like saying it's harder to branch out of the bubble of, okay, this is where I work, and these are the musicians I know. These are the musicians I know in the local scene. And then, because there's plenty of musicians around town who are with it, but sometimes you have to go and search for them. And I will say that even just like finding another guitar player right now, I've like asked a few people, or but I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna find that magical person, I'd say, wherever you can, from maybe under a rock, like
I mean, that'd be pretty cool. You get a guitarist that just like crawled out from under a rock. I'm ready to play. And it's like
he's a rock guitarist.
Oh.
Okay, that was bad.
Hold on.
Oh wow, comedy.
We're a comedy podcast here.
It's a comedy podcast. Yeah, people are gonna switch this off. They're gonna be like, "Yo, this girl thinks she's funny," but
we all think we're funny.
We are a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I think we could be easy to laugh at because I can't help my dorkiness, and I've found that when I make people laugh, it's never because I have a really funny joke. It's always like I'm doing something weird, and I try to own it.
I could put on the pencil costume. That would probably work.
The pencil costume is goated, by the way. Like I love
just show my face.
Oh my god, no! Frae.
Oh, hold on.
Dang. They laughed in agreement. Oh, that's tough.
I know, right? That's crazy.
I'm a little slow on the soundboard, so there's going to be like this awkward delay between like every little like joke and.
It's okay. Like you're a pencil. You don't have hands, so it's tough to like.
These aren't real.
Oh, these aren't real. It's a filter. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I put on a human costume to blend in with the humans.
That must have been expensive. It looks like really real.
Yeah, I know some people.
Yeah, a lot of those, the secret human suit people.
Yeah. Anyway, to jump back onto the topic of music, what has your indie journey been like as like a band and a solo? Well, I guess your new project, which is still a band, but it goes under your name. So what's it been like for both? Like,
you know what? It's tough. I'm not gonna lie and say it's not a hard road, but it's a lot of fun. The freedom in being an indie artist is that you dictate what your art is. You're the one who decides the level at which you want to perform, and no one can really tell you otherwise, right? With that being said, there was a huge learning curve, and still is, for keeping up with the current music industry and making sure that you're collecting all of the money that you can from streams. I mean, as you know, because you also, I'm sure it's the same with podcast streaming, you know, you get a fraction of a penny per listen. And even to get people to listen who are outside of your inner circle is tough. Even people within your inner circle, like it can be tough to sometimes get like your friends or like your local music scene to be like, cool, you know what, not only am I going to listen to your thing once and say, hey, good job, like I'm gonna put you on a playlist and I'm going to actively like make sure I'm streaming you every week. And you know, you got to book your own shows, you got to make sure you keep on it with the socials. And there's been a big learning curve, I would say. If I were to give any like tips, which, you know, I don't know if I'm necessarily the person to go to for tips, but I know from what I've made mistakes with in the past, do not buy likes or follows. You know, that's a big no-no, and people will find out. If you're trying to get management behind you, it's gonna be evident based off of how many people are interacting with your posts or whatever. And you know, you could even fool people enough to the point where you're booking like pretty big venues and they're like, oh, this person can sell tickets, and what happens when you don't? You're going to be blacklisted by some pretty great venues, by some great people. I mean, so like that's one no that I've had to learn. Not that I've ever like been caught in a lie, like, oh, you didn't sell the tickets, but you know, that's something that there's a lot of things or a lot of tools out there that are marketed towards artists like me that seem like, oh wow, one and done, or wow, this is going to make my life so much easier because, you know, getting that following is hard, or getting this is hard. But the truth is, like, there's no easy solution, and to really like consider and think about your options and research them before you get into them. And that's just one example. You know, that's just one example. It could also come down to like, what's the most effective, like cost-effective way to like have your music recorded and produced. And I've had to learn that by having some really expensive producers that I realized, hey, this product wasn't as good as this producer's who is far cheaper, you know? So sometimes you just kind of have to go through it, is what I would say. But also, if you're friends with people in your local scene and you're an indie artist, if there's somebody who you, I don't want to say idolize, but yeah, like look up to, that you're like, hey, this person seems like they know what they're doing, just ask them questions and ask them for advice. And they probably don't know like as much as you think they do, in the sense of like we're all just growing, but they probably definitely got a leg up on things that you might have questions about. And I guess just get involved in your community as much as you can with whatever art you're doing. That was a very long answer. I'm sorry.
No,
it's hard to
you're
good.
It's a good one.
You ever think about trying to get onto your local radio station? Or I know in my college we had like a local college like radio station where it would just play on campus, and if you were friends with people, they would allow you to like put your music on their radio station. You ever tried to like do that?
Definitely.
Either
I mean, I've gone through bouts in the past where I've done that, in terms of, you know, my band Soul Packs, when we released our first album, I must have emailed like hundreds of radio stations, and some of them said that they would spin us, but it's also easy to get into the spam. Even if, you know, a radio station can sometimes advertise themselves as like very well organized. Some folks never get back to you or whatever, but you know, it's a huge way of being able to get to some new listeners. So, and it's great that you brought that up, because that's something I haven't even considered for a while. I'm lucky that, you know, one thing about being in a project like Soul Packs for a long time is that you sort of start to have success by attrition, which just means you've been doing it for so long. Eventually, like you've hit so many roadblocks or like have bumped into so many walls that you start to learn like the right way of doing things, and you start just having success because you didn't stop doing it. Like if you don't stop doing the thing, you're going to succeed. It just, you know, depending on your road. It might take longer than others, but we've been on a few. We've had like some really cool radio opportunities in Miami, some cool interviews. We've been spun on like some cool stations, like University of Miami station or FIU station. I, with my own solo project, I got to get on that, to be honest. So, like, thanks for the reminder. And I think just food for thought for myself is, what is it that I can do in addition to, if you go on a radio website to submit a song, like what can I do to kind of double tap that? Meaning, is it good for me to reach out to someone on Instagram and being like, hey, like, just so you know, I like slid my stuff into your submissions? Because, I think it's good not to annoy people, but just to be like, oh, hey, by the way, like this is me and like I'm in here. So like be expecting that. I don't know, but I hope to get onto some local stations. I actually, my first year of college, did a rotation with my college radio, and it was pretty fun. So I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
No, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Did you ever consider? So we had a person on here named Pizza Power, and he was talking about how they bid for opening acts for different bands that come through. You ever try to do that?
Oh, yeah. Well, not for my own solo project because, this one's very new. It's very, very new. I've got 3 tunes out. I've got loads and loads of them, though, ready to record. It was just kind of for a while not having the funding. But, now I've got a good job so I can fund it. So be on the lookout, guys. But for Soul Packs, certainly. In fact, really cool story. With my other group, Soul Packs, we recently last year opened up for St. Paul and the Broken Bones at the Miami Beach Band Shell. And that was huge for us because they were and still are like one of our big inspirations. So it's like we got to open up for our heroes, but we bid for that. At that time. We were working with a booking agent, which is such a game changer when it comes to booking more like mid-tier shows. And it's hard, like when we've definitely bid for opening spots for a lot of people, but the fact that we were able to open up for one of our favorite bands ever, and we got to meet them, and they were so nice, so down to earth, like that was one of the coolest experiences of my life. So I'm grateful
That's
for
awesome.
that. And I hope to open up for more folks. There's certainly some people that I'll have to put on my list for Julz the Great stuff. Right now, I'm just trying to like get people to come out to more shows in my local scene. So thinking about what local acts do I want to open up for that way? Because it starts with like your hometown,
Right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you guys have found me like in my fetus stage, or I'm just like a little egg cracking into this project. So we'll have to see what it looks like a year or 2 years from now.
I think you're going to be going places. That's what I think.
I hope so. I'm trying to. If not, at least like I'll have fun like doing whatever it is.
Yeah, something that I really appreciate about you, from what I've noticed, from what I've listened to Soul Packs, is like some of your music from Soul Packs, and then I stumbled upon your TikTok, which is your Julz the Great project, and what I notice is you have such a range of the style and genre of music that you're able to play, which I gotta say is very impressive to me. I think that's amazing that you can. Well, from what Soul Packs described as, it's like a retro pop, and now you're more of like alternative rock, and it's different, but you have a similarity in the two, but yet it's so unique, both styles of the music that you're playing, that I'm blown away. Like, how did you learn that you could, I guess, jump those types of genres? Like, did you just kind of play around with it until you found a different sound, or did you kind of already know that you could do all of it?
I think I don't want to say that I already knew that I could do all of it, but these things just kind of start to happen. And I think a lot of that is just listening to good music. And that that transcends genres, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, growing up when I was like in elementary school, I was like super into pop music. And then I started really getting into rock in middle school. And that was like, for me, okay, there's nothing else. It's just rock and roll. And for the most part, that was definitely the vibe in high school too. But there were a lot of opportunities meeting even kids in high school, because I got to go to an art school, to start getting into things like jazz. And then, college, that's where I really started listening to some more out there stuff. I really got into R&B and neo soul and a lot of stuff like that. And I think it's, important to not limit yourself. I was super into bluegrass when I was like 17 as well. And I think for me, the thing that I try to do is just make a good song. And
Hmm.
that is, it depends what genre you're doing. There's different criteria for a good song in this genre or that genre. But I think what transcends that for me is memorable melody, lyrics that mean something. I mean, look, there have been times where I totally, have copped out and been like, okay, I'm just going to write something that sounds really cool, but it doesn't mean anything. And that's cool too if it's catchy. But I like to have, kind of something behind it, some kind of a story behind it or a feeling. And I think, chords that complement the song. And the rest of it, when it comes to arranging instruments, I mean, there's a lot of different things to play with, but I feel like it's very it's been very almost like addicting for me to like try out these other genres. And it's something that I can't really help, because once you start listening to all of these things, these songs just start kind of coming to you. Something that is funny, on the other hand, I actually struggled with this a lot. Like, this was a challenge for me, which was, uh, well, how would you describe your sound? How would you
Mhm.
label the kind of music that you make? And that was that was really hard, especially when I was studying songwriting in college and learning about, okay, how do you market yourself, and that's such a convoluted thing. And when it comes to marketing yourself, like, how do you sell yourself like a product so people can understand from the get-go what it is you do? But I've been trying to kind of not care about that and just write whatever comes to me. uh, and there's this really cool masterclass that I went to once. In fact, I feel so bad because I can't even think of this guy's name, but he came to visit in college one time. He is an incredible upright bassist, and he was one of the bass players on the album First Time Count Meets the Duke, where Count Basie and Duke Ellington's jazz big bands got together to make one giant band. It's an insane album. And he was on that album, and he said something to the effect of, don't put yourself in a box. The rest of
Mhm.
the world is going to do that for you. They're going to box you in. So just make the music that you make. Just make the music that's in your heart. Don't try to label yourself. Don't try to box yourself in. And that really, when he said that, that really freed me
It's good
from
advice.
trying. Oh yeah, like that changed it for me. And I will say, like, yeah, I do still try to organize my stuff. Like, okay, maybe I'll save this kind of like southern rock song for this EP, or this song for that EP. But I think that the best I can do in terms of boxing myself is being like, okay, here's my soul pack stuff, and then
Mhm.
here's the kind of like more Julz the Great stuff. And a little bit of, oh, well, you know what, maybe I should just cut it there, because I could ramble on and on about this for hours if you let me.
No, I think what you said about the boxing yourself in what he told you about that, I've felt that way for the longest time. I don't like just feeling like I have to put myself in one area or another. And I feel like, yeah, I don't feel like that's something that we as humans are meant to even experience at all, because we are multi-dimensional, multi-creative. It's like I've never
Mm.
met another creative person that doesn't have multiple avenues for which their creativity can flow. Like,
Yeah.
I can draw. Am I the best drawer right now? No, because of my wrists and arms acting up. But I also can write. I do YouTube, and I
Yeah.
guess the main overarching theme is a storyteller. But even that, I can tell multiple stories. So it's not just like one story type is my box and things like that. So
Yeah.
I love that, and I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. That's
And I mean, of course, like people evolve, but it's also about knowing that not just like, oh, cool, like my genre of my style has evolved, but like within the same breath, you can be a rock musician and a country musician and a pop musician and whatever, I think it can be more challenging to maybe get an audience, especially like a new audience, to
Mhm.
understand what it is you do, but also like that's kind of on them. I think at the end of the day, if you just keep doing what it is you do and putting it out, putting it out, putting it out, then yeah, people
Yeah.
start to realize.
Consistency
It's,
definitely makes a statement, and when people see you continuing when they've dropped off, that you just kind of get this level of respect. It just seems like they'll be like, wow, you're still doing that. And then it's like, if even if they were like naysayers in the beginning, if they see you like work at it for years and years, they might slowly just start to chip that mindset away and be like, you know what,
yeah,
they're actually doing something. And it's interesting how that works. Like, you just give it 5-10 years of hard work, and those people that doubted you in the beginning will flip their mind. Most of them will. That might not be everybody. Some people will be like the entire time, but I feel like just having that consistency speaks a lot for you, because you're like, I am here, I went through all these hurdles, I went through all these roadblocks, and I am still here, still kicking, still
yeah,
pursuing my dream. And Frae, I think of Frae when I think of that, because he's somebody who's been at this for years, and even when he's had setbacks, he's come back to the road. So that's my
yeah.
bro. He
That's your
inspires me.
bro. Hey, I mean, I
Well,
think at the end of the day,
Stop.
for all of us, because
Stop.
I'm sure the same can be said about you, number two pencil man.
See, you
Oh,
went too
Frey's my
far.
best
You
friend.
went too far. See, you
Oh,
went
Frey's
too far.
the
Went too.
best
Cut the
friend.
interview. We're done. We're done.
no,
Oh, you
We're
gotta
done.
shout out
That's
your
it.
besties though. You gotta shout them out.
yeah, I know he doesn't ever say that I'm his best friend, but I'm always like, she's my
It's a,
best friend.
but he's thinking it though. He's
I
thinking
barely
it, and
know this
that
guy.
counts. Yeah, I don't know him.
We've known each other for 3 years now, for about 3.
He found me on the corner and was just like, I need someone on this podcast with me. So
Well, no, the podcast is a new thing.
he
We've
just
known each
dragged
other
me on
before
here
that.
like last
The
minute.
way you make that sound is like you were standing like on the corner of this avenue and that street, and you're just
I
like
might have
crossing the
been.
street,
I'm
like just
just
went
saying.
grocery
Hey,
shopping, whatever. It's like you're my new best friend. It's like
he did do.
okay.
See, exactly. That's exactly how it
I've
happened.
adopted
I mean,
all
that's
of
how
these
simple
people.
life used to be. Like in kindergarten, where
Right.
you would, or first grade, you meet up with somebody, or you see someone across the room. You're like, hey, you and me, we're friends. And you're like, oh, okay. You don't question it. You just like go skipping along, like la la la
You
la.
have a
La.
That's
nice
totally
Ninja
us.
Turtles action figure. We're best friends.
Yeah, we're best friends now. I've decided. What's your name? Little
You don't even.
Jimmy?
I don't even know your name.
Jimothy?
Like
Yeah,
boy with the red
unimportant.
hair. We're best friends now.
Yeah, yeah. That's how
Yeah.
easy it was. It's funny how much more challenging it can be as an adult to create some of these really rich friendships, not just like the surface level ones. I feel
Mhm.
really lucky though that I get to, doing what I do, I get to meet new people all the
Yeah.
time. And also, I'm a teacher as well. And so
Oh, wow.
I've been coaching private lessons for like 8 years. So I've had a lot of different coworkers. And then I've also just started working at an elementary school. So I feel like I'm meeting new people all the time. And sometimes I think, okay, like it's going to be hard to make friends here. But then I notice like if you're just your most authentic self, then you do kind of start to make even more friends, or even more friends that you're like, oh, you know what? This person has become my good friends. Like, so
Yep.
I don't know. Just like little side thought, little tangent.
No, it's how it happened. No, seriously. I kidnapped. Well, I didn't kidnap. I basically adopted Frae, Rachel, and well, Katie was the most willing out all of them. Well, Lamona, I should say sorry.
You kidnapped them, though. You kidnapped
I
them.
did. I guess
Yeah.
so. I'm forcing them to do this podcast. You don't see it, but Frae's right across this room from me.
Yeah. Praise
I'm
right
shackled.
there. There's someone like off camera, like holding a gun. Like
He
Frey
has my ankle
smile. You
shackled
have
to a
to.
radiator right now.
Oh
I wouldn't go
no!
that far, Frae. You know I love you.
I can't go anywhere. Help me.
No.
This is good.
Guys,
It's been a while.
if you know where Frey is, please look at the back of this milk box and call this number. If you've seen Frey, if you
Yeah, I
if
bet you
you've
that's
seen
how it
number 2
feels like.
Pencil Man, he drives this car.
I'm not a villain, I promise. I'm supposed to be a superhero.
Superhero.
That's what they all
Yeah.
say.
Anyway. Frae's my best friend. We'll get back to... We were talking about consistency and how important that was, because I definitely liked what you said about consistency earlier. But yeah, let's see. So we talked a little bit about your music. What if we listened to one of your songs?
Oh, I would love that. I would love
Sweet.
it.
I will pull up Spotify here. Let me see. I have it right there. Is there any of your single ones that you would like?
I think that the one that I enjoy the most right now, or that I feel like is the most me, is probably Millennium Wage.
Okay.
That one's interesting because I ended up having to take down the first time that I released it and ended up re-releasing it because I was having problems with distribution. So I'm just trying to get it back out there,
Uh-huh.
and yeah. So
Oh, wow.
y'all can see what you think. It sounds kind of like. I guess not. I'm not going to talk about what it sounds like. Just listen
We're
to
going
it
to
and see what you
experience it.
think. Lean into the punk vibes and.
Alrighty. Then I shall hit the play.
I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. But I need better pay, I need better options. I want me some velvet lines in my coffin. I wanna be content, don't need to be famous. But when I'm long gone, I want these kids to say I ate lit. It seems like everyone around me's getting clean cuts, good shifts. I'm trying to work the box tie in my granny hair. Don't got a horse and a carrot, drive a spiral and carrot. I'm carrying a little too much, yeah. I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. I still don't really know what I'm doing. Wish I could say I'm having fun. Yeah, I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. But I want my insurance on my Millennium Wage. Don't wanna sell my soul unless you give me good rate. My little friends say I'll still kill up at my age. I want a record deal, but I was born too late. And I really wish I didn't have a look at me to the T. Wish I could cover 9 to 5 and find some inner peace. But I'm selfish, I can't help it. Are you buying what I'm selling? I'm desperate, just haggle me down. Yeah, I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. Still I really know what I'm doing. Wish I could say I'm having fun. Yeah, I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. Yeah, I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. I got a home, I still got a bed. Privileged enough to have existential dread. I'm balling on the budget, I'm hustling on the dime. At least I can say that I'm putting in my time. And that I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. Yeah, I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. Yeah, I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place, in the right time, like everyone. place in the right time like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place in the right time like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place in the right time like everyone. I just wanna be in the right place in the right time like everyone.
Oh, hold on, hold on,
Very
hold on.
catchy.
Oh my gosh! I didn't know there was a whole audience here listening. Oh my!
That is, I feel like an anthem for this generation. Quite honestly, like
Oh,
I feel it. Like every day I go to my 9 to 5, I'm just like, I'm sick of this. I feel like I'm
thank
selling my soul
you.
for nothing, and I'm like, no, it's time to break out. And so I feel like you just wrote the anthem for an entire generation.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that, because it definitely came out of a place of just so much frustration, especially, and now I'm lucky that like I'm doing a little bit better, but oh man, like for a long time, just like of my own accord, like I've been a lower income person. I mean, I grew up in like a middle class family, so I'm very lucky, very fortunate,
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like as an adult, like on my own, like with a degree, just scraping by, it's tough because you really think, oh, that degree is going to get you somewhere. Like I'm going places, and you're really not. Not that I regret getting a degree at all, but it can be, especially in the arts, such an such an uphill battle. And so, yeah, like it's tough. Like I wrote that song at a time where I was making like, I don't know, like $12,000 a year. Like,
Wow.
not to like shout out my finances, but that's like a situation for so many people
Mm-hmm.
in this country, or so many people also just like in the arts. And it's just like, all right, like go out there and do your thing. And it's a lot of, not just like, okay, let me try to survive, but let me try to thrive artistically. A lot of like smacking your head on the wall, and just trying to hope that like a door will appear, And so that's kind of like what that song is about. Just like, I just want to be in the right place and the right time, like everyone. Because people say, oh, you just keep working hard and one day it'll happen. Like
Mm-hmm.
one day you're going to be discovered, one day this thing. And not that that's not going to happen, but I think that I've kind of I've kind of gotten over it,
Mm.
you know. And I think that, writing helps. Writing helps, being able to acknowledge like maybe like you have these dreams of being like big and famous or whatever. But I think was really important at the end of the day was just figuring out how to, make ends meet, and also make art that feels like something to you. And it could be like nothing to somebody else, but it's something to me. And I think
Mm-hmm.
whoever listens to it and is like down with it, then dope. Then I'm cool with that, even if it's just like a handful of folks.
That's beautiful.
But yeah,
Seriously, like I feel it.
thank you.
I feel the passion behind it. I feel the heart behind it. Yeah, no, it's incredible. And I feel like the most powerful art and music that exists is the art that is created from somebody's genuine passion, from whatever they're going through, because passion encompasses everything. It can be the negative emotions, it can be the happy emotions, sad. When we like turn it into something beautiful, that's when our art is given extra life and really can impact people. So, yeah, I think what you have created is doing that.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad.
Of course. I mean, seriously, I'm
I
super.
oh, go ahead.
What was that, Frae? No, 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 I'm done. You go.
You're like, sorry, okay, sorry. I was,
It was an
I
awkward
don't know
stare
if
off.
like if you were lagging a bit. I was like, wait, what? No, it's because I heard someone say
Uh
something,
oh.
but then I heard it like, and it wasn't in sync with the visuals. So I was like, wait, what's
Um,
going on? What's happening? Okay. And that's what happens. The end.
I really love your voice, how it has like a raw aggression to it. You're kind of like mixing a little rapping into your lyrics, and it's a very like catchy sound. Like you have a very eclectic voice. Like even though it was a punk song, it was like you were taking inspirations from a lot of different genres, so it felt really cool. Could you
Okay. Well,
tell me your top 5 bands?
oh my gosh. Oh man, I knew this question was going to come up at some point, and this I need to preface this by saying like this is so hard. Oh, people left. Okay. I'll come back in a sec.
Yeah, hopefully it comes back in a second.
He'll come back, guys. Technical difficulties, but
Yes.
so I have so many favorite bands, especially bands that I've ruined for myself, you know, where you listen to the same album on repeat multiple times a day for multiple months. Like, but I would say in terms of right now, what I'm listening to right now, and I wouldn't even say that that's necessarily what influences this project, but a little bit though. I've been listening to a lot of Rancid lately, which is kind of like you could consider it classic punk for sure, but it's also got a lot of ska involved, and these guys are like, I think they're like still releasing albums, so that's pretty cool. I mean, so I would say that like if there's a band that I'm likely to search up right now, that's what I'm going to say top 5 for now. That's going to be my situation. I would say also in no particular order, Thrice. I've been really
I used to
getting
be
into
such a
them.
Thrice fan. Oh my gosh.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I
Well,
love them. The Artist in the
do have to
Ambulance
say
is like my album.
that's your album. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Well, I mean it's a great album, and the interesting thing is that I didn't really listen to them until I met my husband, and he like that's one of his favorite bands of all time. He's seen them twice, and he's played a lot of their songs for me, and I'm like, "Oh, like this is kind of cool." And my an album that I go to a lot because I think it's so artful is Horizons East. I know that that's not really, within their hardcore kind of element in which they kind of founded their sound, but it feels very elegant,
Right.
as like an alternative rock album. So I really love that album. And I've also been getting really into some of Gavin Dance recently. Yeah,
They're pretty good too. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, but I've been I kind of stumbled upon recently a few months ago their album Jackpot Juicer, and that is also one of their newer albums. I think what was that 2022? Also like a super like artful album in the way that you can tell they really know their stuff with how everything was arranged, the intricate little riffs and solo lines, the harmonies, the vocal harmonies. It's like very cool. And something really weird is when you actually listen to the lyrics, especially like the screamo or like the vocal fry parts, and you look them up, it's a bunch of nonsense too. You're like, what are they saying right now? Oh,
That's the
man.
best part of like the screamo, especially like when it's matched with the breakdown part. And
Yes.
you just feel the energy, and you're like, I don't know what they're saying, but I'm headbanging and I'm going all out anyway. Like,
yeah, that's exactly it. And you don't really care. Like it
Right.
feels right, even if they're saying something weird.
exactly.
Having to fill in the last two is real tough right now, not gonna lie. But
No.
I think if I was to name an artist that I sound kind of like, as just with like what I'm kind of writing right now, I would say maybe Ida Maria.
Never heard of them actually.
She's like very do you know the song? This was kind of more of like I guess like in the 2000s, but I don't mind if you take off your clothes, come on, take them off.
Sounds kind of familiar.
That's not okay. Well, I don't know. But she has she just has this raw kind of songwriting style and energy. Like it sounds to me like she doesn't really edit her stuff that much. And I've decided like, I'm not really editing because it's so hard to separate your internal writer from your internal editor. And it gets so drawn out. I'm like, whatever, it's done. It's done. Good enough is good enough. And I feel that in her music a lot, and that rawness I really connect to. Oh, you know what? I actually will. The fifth band that I have to mention, I will have to put this band in my like official top 5 for, at least for now, foreseeably for my life. Like top 5 bands for my life, because they really speak to me. And I hadn't listened to them since high school, but I came back to them recently and I'm like, this still hits. And that's rare. I think that can be quite rare. And they're called Company of Thieves.
I don't know what I missed.
Just
I
asking
know.
her
I
top
was
5.
yeah. Tanner dipped out. He was like,
My Wi-Fi just decided to go kaput out of nowhere, and I was like, "What?"
Oh my gosh!
I had to restart everything, and then it still wouldn't work. And I'm like,
Dang.
dang. And then I didn't know if it would have cut everybody else out, because that's the first time I ever got booted out of it while it was in session. So I didn't know if it was going to end it for everybody, because I'm technically the host.
It didn't, though.
That's weird, but cool.
It didn't. I was blown away. I was like, oh, we're still recording.
Yeah,
Hey.
the show goes on. That's the one thing with Indie Synergy Exchange.
The show goes on. So, but either way, you know, the top 5 bands, I would say these are not my top 5, but they're the 5 that I can think of right now that I really appreciate at the moment. And there's certainly like dozens more where that came from, but that's on my mind right now.
Very nice.
Look at you go, Frae, being host.
I have the questions, Tanner.
This is the most.
I have the questions to keep people just talking and talking. That's what I do.
You see, that's what we
make
need.
them think about it.
Oh man, no, I'm super lost now. So Frae, keep going.
There you go. What inspires your style for this current project? Like how you present yourself?
Well, I would say that, you know, before I started this project, Soul Packs, you know, that project, it was something that I wanted to do with my friend, because him and I knew each other back in Miami, and then we ended up going to college together too. So it was like kind of and we were really close friends, like a great idea. Let's start a band. And he was very much into the idea of like trying to play the blues, you know? So I kind of adapted to that, because I'm like, I'm just down for whatever. And even to this day, like I kind of let him dictate like, all right, what genre are we doing next? And I get to like really jump into experimenting with that. And that's been such a great learning tool for me, because he's an incredibly well listened individual for a multitude of different genres. And so it's been a great motivator for me to try out different things and to write in different styles. But before that, it was alternative rock, and even like a lot of singer-songwriter type stuff. And that was just kind of my heart. And if I was to be honest with myself, where my heart sits in music is more that, because that feels like what I grew up with, like even before I met my close friend Julian, who we've been writing together as a duo forever. And so in a way, I kind of had to come back to that, because I dropped that and I left that. I lost that for a long time. And it felt like for a long time as well, like there was a really important part of me and an important part of my music that was missing. And it was that. A lot of it is kind of just gut instinct, like angsty teenager kind of music. Obviously, I'm not a teenager anymore, but I don't think you ever stop feeling that in life. And I found that, there's a lot of freedom in not really trying to edit it so much, or, and just being like, the way this comes out and the way this feels is the thing that this is. And kind of letting that be the song. And so I kind of let it speak from that experience. In saying that, I do have, some more kind of artful, I guess you could say, or more like really well written Julz the Great songs that I'm looking forward to releasing. But I think at the core of it right now, it's just angst. And it's healing for me, man. It really is, because now I feel like, okay, like I don't really care, like if it's not super polished. It's just kind of the alternative, kind of like grungy punk thing that it wants to be. That's what it wants to be, and I'm not really gonna touch it too much.
I love that.
So,
Frae, did you ask the question about the food?
No, we're gonna do a different thing. We're gonna do a different thing
one
this time.
But I really like that
Yes.
question.
We're gonna it's gonna be along that line.
Is it?
But we're gonna change up from food. What animal would you use to describe this project?
What animal would I use to describe this project? Well, I've always been someone who's, I guess, so I always feel like attached to the idea of being like a wolf, because wolves are super cool, but I don't think that that's what this project is. And if I'm being honest with myself, there's the way that I feel inside, or the things that the facets of your personality that you don't show anyone, or the way that you experience the world. I definitely feel like a wolf in a way, but I do not present as one. Mm-hmm. and that's kind of, and I don't think this project does either. I feel like if this project presents as anything, it's maybe like a screaming monkey.
I like that.
And the monkey's like a little bit aggressive at times. Like, it can be a little angry. It's not gonna hurt you at the end of the day, but it's definitely like primal. Maybe I think it's like at the end of the day, like human beings, like we're all just like deviant apes with slightly less hair, just like walking around acting like we know shit, So I feel like it's kind of like that, but a little more devolved.
I love it. So I'm going to ask the other question anyway, too, because I like that one. So if it was a food, what food would it be?
Ooh, okay. This is a harder question. Oh, okay. Well, it's definitely like twangy. It's got a little spice to it. I think it should be. I need to concoct this in my brain. So I would like for this to be, and maybe this is just cravings right now, I want this to be like a chicken and waffles situation, like maybe some combinations of genres or things that you don't necessarily expect to be together. But the chicken is like Nashville hot chicken. The honey glazed on top is maybe it's like orange infused, right? And let's see what's on the side. Probably like some Mexican street corn, some elote with like some tajin and chumoy on it, just for like the spice factor. And what drink would be on the side? I don't know.
We're getting a whole meal with this one.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about food right now. Like, I feel like the drink, just because this is a go-to for me, is like Coke Zero. So I feel like it's tangy, it's spicy, it's sweet. We got a lot of textures going on. But that's maybe what it would be, or maybe that's just something I want to eat right now.
Frae,
one or the other.
Is it chicken and waffles from like IHOP, or like chicken and waffles from like Waffle House?
That's a very good question.
I feel like, you know what? It's a Waffle House waffle.
It's aggressive.
There's stuff happening in the parking lot that you don't want to know about at 3 a.m., man.
Oh man,
someone's going to the hospital tonight.
It's not for the family. It's not IHOP for the family.
Man, these questions are great, Frae. You're a genius for coming up from 'em. You know what would be great? We could do like a whole video series on us trying the foods that the people describe their music as.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
It's a new
we could do
show.
that.
that's
Yeah, that's fine. Right.
eating
You heard it here
musically
first.
influenced food, and you have to listen to the song that is inspired or like that artist too, so you have that in the background, and you have to see like, do you agree with the food combo
I
and
think
the
that's a
listening?
genius idea.
Mm,
That would
We
be.
could
pretty
do it.
cool.
Let's do it, Frae. We should ask our guests ahead of time to make us a menu of their songs and like attribute each song to a different food menu thing, and we could just make it or buy
Mm.
it and try it.
There you go.
This
Mm,
is going to be something new.
chicken and
Maybe on
waffles.
Dreamscape.
Maybe.
No,
Quite
that
possible.
I love that description though for both of those answers. I feel like you do have that primal spirit in you to like really convey your passions and your emotions through what you write, but you also can really diversify your style and your songs. So I like that those answers are really I feel like they line up perfectly.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I'll have to have like some spicy chicken and waffles and get back to you and tell you if like I changed my mind or if it's like, yeah, I
You know what?
stand by this. For now, I stand by
We
it.
can invite the artists back on when we do it and have them do it with us.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. It's going to be a lot of me talking with my mouth full, though, so I don't know.
Probably be a lot of all of us talking like, you think we should go break?
Man. I try not to do it. I know like my mother has always told me don't do that, but I can't help it. Like I have things I want to say, but you're not going to stop me from eating my food. Like I'm rude that way.
Oh man, this is great. But to get us back on track, and I know we're here at the hour mark, so I think I have two more questions. But this next one
Okay.
is one that I'm curious about, and I just thought of it recently. So, as a musician, as an indie artist, what do you feel is your long-term goal for yourself as an indie musician? Like, what do you hope to really see your music and your art evolve to long term? Is there like an end goal in mind or anything like that?
Well, I wouldn't say that there's any major end goal, but I feel like a real big goal for mine right now, and this is very doable too. It just sometimes feels like so out of reach, but it's really not. I would like to break and hold on to for many years, like over 100,000 listeners on Spotify, both for my project Soul Packs and for Julz the Great. And there's a lot of ways to do it. I think it's just kind of staying consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it feels inspiring to me, I'm going to keep making music for it. Uh, and I hope that that would like be able to just help me continue to create and keep funding my art, because like it costs like money to like all of the money that an artist makes, a lot of it is just going back into making more art
Mm-hmm.
for people to listen to and enjoy. So it would be great to like not just keep like breaking even with like, oh, money from a gig, or but to actually get some of that streaming income and say, hey, like I made $500 that I can pocket on streaming this month, and I can like put that into my savings for my
Mm-hmm.
kids' college or something like that. That would be pretty cool to be not just like breaking even, but thriving. And no one needs to really like, I'm okay with not being like a huge artist, but just having
Mm-hmm.
like a small but like devout following. That's like all I could ask for. And also just the opportunity to get to work and collaborate with some really cool musicians that I respect. I think that, those are like my ultimate goals. And I don't think there's really, an end date to that. I think it's like, cool. Oh, 100,000 listeners. Sweet. Now let me keep making more music for these people to
Mm-hmm.
listen to. And yeah, and I'm just gonna keep making music till I'm dead is the vibe. And then after that, but in a way that you would do that in the afterlife somehow, or maybe who knows, maybe I'll be dead and that's it. But if I'm sentient anywhere else, I'll figure it out.
No, that's a great answer. I love it, and I definitely think you're gonna accomplish those goals and more. I mean, I'm very hopeful for indies in this time, in this season of life. I feel like people are really starting to see the indies as something special, and they're really starting to divert their attention. They're tired of the mainstream pumping out recycled stuff at this point, and they're like, whoa, what do these guys
Yeah.
have? And we're like, hey, look, we got new stuff. And people are like, this is cool. And I think, like, with TikTok especially, it's really been a big
Yeah.
help in ushering all that stuff in, like the new social media formats and how anybody can kind of get in and have that break and even just make all the new
Definitely.
friends. I feel like the new format for social media is very personable, and the people that you connect with are more intimate in a way where you can kind of just like really get to know each other as friends. And
It's
yeah.
nice because you get to see like, oh, this is a person. And that's so liberating, especially for a lot of the toxic stuff that you can see on social media and the ways in which it can be so hard to not compare yourself to different people, or like that person with the perfect body and the perfect face, or their music is so good, or they have this many followers, or they are always on trend. It's like so nice to see people who are just like, oh, they got a little pimple today, they got bedhead, and they're talking to the camera about something. And so that's more liberating for me, because I used to just not make content that much because of those insecurities. But now I'm like, fuck it. And I found that gets me just as far as like a real planned out video. So
Yeah, anything can
yeah.
really take off nowadays, and that's the beauty of it. You can just do one thing and it's like, oh, hey, look, that did pretty good.
Yeah, people want to connect
Yeah.
at the end of the day. And it's like, you don't have to be perfect for people to want to connect with you. And so
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
kind of the cool thing about it.
That's beautiful. Frae, do you have any other questions?
No, not for now. But I'll probably like right after the broadcast, I'll be like, "Damn it, missed it."
Oh, that's awesome. Then I guess I'll ask the final question, and that is, Julz the Great,
right.
where can everybody find you?
Oh, where can they find me? Gotta plug it up. Well, you can find me on all streaming platform of your choice at Julz the Great. That's Julz the. I hope you know how to spell the. Great. Same, right? You can find me on Instagram as Julz.the.great. And on TikTok, I wish I could say the same, but I had to do Julz_the_great. I don't know who else is like Julz the Great out there with the dots, but I'm coming for you.
Sue her.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the main thing. But yeah, I think if you just look up Julz the Great on Google, you'll find me. That's my hope. I'm hoping that I can get that SEO up. So
Yeah, we'll definitely be
we'll
linking
see.
all
Let me
those
know.
as well. So we'll have all the social
Awesome.
medias linked. We had our link tree. Yeah, we'll have all that in the description of this video or audio form. So
Awesome. Well, Tanner, Frae, this has been so great. I'm so honored that you guys asked me to be a part of this, and this has been a lot of fun.
yeah,
So,
it's
thank
been a
you.
great time.
Definitely.
So one more time, everybody, give it up for Julz the Great.
Hey.
Why isn't it going?
Yeah.
Oh, I clicked it, but it
Where's the
didn't
clapping?
I hit the button.
Where's the clap?
Why isn't it?
No.
Clap for me.
It's not.
Clap for
It's
me.
not going. There we go.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
Our studio audience was being buttholes.
Yeah, I was hitting them. Well, I don't abuse the audience, I promise. I was
He was hitting them.
I was trying to get
I'ma
the
get
thing
you.
to work, and it was like freezing, and I'm like, all right, let me just flip this one, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna work now. Whatever. Thank you, studio audience. All of you beautiful people out there. Definitely everybody.
It's live, the live studio audience.
One day. Who knows?
One day.
Anything's possible. But yes, make sure, go check out Julz on all her social media. Listen to her music. It's amazing. Listen to Soul Packs as well. We'll also put a link for that down in the description. So that way everything is there. If you want to listen to her band project, Soul Packs, that'll be there. If you want to listen to Julz, that'll be there. So everybody, go check her out. and yeah, be sure to give her a follow because she is amazing and such an down to earth person and very passionate about what she does. So we love to see it. To wrap things up, Frae, I know you've been taking the reins today, so I'm very happy about that. But tell us what things is going on for you. Things are going on for you.
Yes, my time to shine. As always, go to Fraeofficial.com if you want to see my artwork, my comics, and my board games that I create. I'm currently working on Inlock Volume 4. I know people have been asking for the past 2 years, where the hell is the next book? It's going to be out. August, I'm going to release a Kickstarter, but I want to get the book in more of a final form before I do that. So, Kickstarter's coming in August. Book will probably be officially released in September or October. And then I'm probably going to go right into volume 5 because they kind of 4 and 5 kind of tie right into each other. So I might go right into that and have that hopefully by the beginning of 2026. And then I'll have the expansion for Official Verse called Official Verse Reloaded, which is my tabletop fighting game. It will be out in December. I will also be doing a Kickstarter for that probably around November or so. So that's where I'm currently at.
Very nice. I'm super excited for those projects. And as always, I'm Tanner. You can find me at tannersTalesEntertainment.com is my website. I also have my socials, Tanner's Tales Entertainment. Or if you like pencil superheroes, number 2 Pencil Man here, in a human costume instead of a pencil suit, or not pencil suit. Pencil is my real body. Yes, so you can find me there. We just released issue 2 of number 2 Pencil Man. It's in a nice, shiny, reflective thing. That's up on the website now in both digital and physical format. Limited quantities as of right now until we really get the ball rolling on it. Just came out a couple weeks ago, so we're super excited about that. Children's book is in the works sometime soon. Don't know when, but it's coming. So that'll be exciting. And yeah, reviving the YouTube channel. So definitely check out Tanner's Tales Entertainment. I know, Julz, you and I were talking about Smosh earlier. I took a lot of inspiration, only I didn't have as much of a budget or editing skills, so my original videos are all skit-type videos that are really cheesy with the kind of similar comedy to what they did, only a little bit different. Not as, I would say it's more family-friendly. But you can definitely check out the YouTube channel. I'm doing new content. There's my own podcast, Tanner's Tales Podcast, which is all about storytelling. Julz, if you ever want to come on that one, we'd love to have you there too.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm also doing some business vlogs. So for all of my different business outings, I am going to be trying to make a vlog for it, but I'm behind. So I'm currently catching up on that, and I have a new series coming out called It Could Be Anything, where I do anything and everything within reason. It's a way to kind of get me to try different forms of content and see what I really like doing. And it could be like I learn skills, I just do silly random things. You never know. That's the beauty of that series. So all that's on my YouTube channel. We're reviving it. And yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen next? So that's it for me. And now, just again for
We
the
have an
pod.
event Saturday.
Yes, we do. Frae and I
Our
have an
event
event.
Saturday.
Yes, we have an event this Saturday. I think it's in Ephrata, PA, outside of Complete in Box. It's their 14th anniversary. So we will be set up out there as long as the weather is good. We will be set out in, I guess, the field right next to the building. So come see me and Frae. We'll probably be next to each other. Who knows? It depends on how early I get there and how early Frae gets there. Frae is notoriously late. So, I mean, we'll see what happens there. But we're going to try to get next to each other. So definitely come out, see us, and just hang out with us, chat with us. And now I will do the outro. So if you guys enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, interact, all that stuff. If you guys enjoy what we do and want to support us, that's just one way that we can help grow this platform so that we can help spotlight other amazing indie creators of all kinds. We can give them that spotlight that they deserve and help introduce the world to something new. Because the indie scene is very diverse and there's so much out there, so much fresh, amazing stuff to really just get to experience. So we want to help shine a light on all those amazing creators and get their stuff out there. And we can't do it without your help. So if you really like what we're doing, please consider to support us. And yeah. yeah, if you guys want to be on the show, if you're an artist or creator of any kind, reach out to us. You can DM us at the Dreamscape Empyrean. All that stuff will be linked below. Yeah, send us a DM. We'd love to chat with you. We can get you scheduled and we can get you on the show, give you the spotlight, and yeah, we'll go from there. But that's all for us. Julz, do you have anything that you want to say to sign us off? Any words of inspiration or motivation?
I don't know. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So go out there and live your life.
I love it. It's so perfect. And on that note, we will see you later, dreamers, on the next episode of Indie Synergy Exchange. Bye-bye.
Bye.